What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Week 1 recap of PMPL South Asia Spring Season of 2022. My name is Warren Super Johnny John. I will be your host and I will take you through all the things, all the discussions that we will have in this video, and we will start things off by talking about the best teams of Week 1, followed by having a look at some of the best plays as well, and in the end, ladies and gentlemen, we will discuss the best performers. So without wasting any further time, let's get this started. Starting things off, we will talk about the top teams from the very first Super Weekend of this PMPL, and in no particular order, the first team I want to talk about is Vibes Esports. Now, this was very interesting because even though the overall leaderboard is right now being dominated by the Titans from Mongolia, Vibes Esports are not too far behind. And this is even more surprising when you notice the fact that they don't have any chicken dinners, whereas the Mongolians have 3 or 2 chicken dinners each within the top 3 teams. So it was quite exciting to see Vibes just be there within the top 4 with the consistent top 3, top 4 finishes in every single game, and gathering those placement points looks like a very important priority for them. The next team on this list is Seal Esports from Mongolia, and this should not be a surprise. I mean, right underneath Stalwart Esports on the second position on the leaderboard, Seal Esports have outdone themselves. But in the history of the team's performances in the previous PMPLs that they have attended, this sort of looks consistent. Now, the only point of concern for Seal Esports is, can they replicate the same run that they are having right now in the upcoming weeks, because that is where they have flustered up before as well, not being able to handle the pressure in the later stages of the league stages. It will be important that Wally and Baron, they stay on point as they are right now, and the addition of Demo has been an incredible sort of part and important factor for this team's performance, and well, hopefully we will see them on the first soon. And talking about being on the first, that is where Stalwart Esports are right now, and they have remained from the very first game of the Super Weekend to the very end. No one has been able to topple them over, and the consistency that this team has displayed, it's just incredible. Right off the bat, getting the chicken dinner in the very first angle of the Super Week and securing 2 more later in the same day was, I mean, a big shocker for the rest of the lobby, because no one expected Stalwart Esports to pop off so nicely on the first day. There was a little bit of a slip up on day number 2 and day number 3 as well, where the best finish they got was a second, and even though in that match they secured a lot of eliminations for themselves, it wasn't really the thing Stalwart Esports were looking for. But hey, if you're getting the $1,000 for the chicken dinner and you have $3,000 for the first week already secured, who cares, right? So Stalwart Esports are having a very good time in the league stages so far, but hopefully the second week goes the same for them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to move on and have a look at some of the best moments from the very first Super Weekend. And starting things off, this was kind of an interesting start to the day, as this was one of the first few team fights on day number 1's first game, and it was between 1952 and Raw Esports, where 1952 were off to a good start in the squad fight when they picked off Rig out in the open. But even though it was a 3v4 situation with the odds in the favor of 1952, Raw, they still came out on top in the end, with Kazi and Assault getting important elimination points for their team and ensuring that Raw Esports survives to fight in the later stages of the match. Up next is a 1v2 clutch winner-winner chicken dinner finish from DRS's Delta. And this came at a very important time for DRS as well, because it looked like they were losing a lot of momentum on day number 1, but then Delta steps in on a game of Sanok with 2 lads from Phantom Esports alongside with him, and this also showcased how important it is to be aware of your opposition's positioning and being able to isolate those fights. Delta, with the UMP in his hands, was able to just knock down and finish off both the players and secure his team $1,000 and the chicken dinner. And last but not the least is an amazing Erangel finish from IHC Esports, and this happened in match number 5 of day number 2. This was, by the way, the second back-to-back winner-winner chicken dinner for ISC, as they had already secured one chicken dinner from the previous game on Sanhok, and this one was impressive because they started off from the Georgia Pool City, rotating all the way towards the church right next to Pochinki as the circle was moving in on the city, and then the fates turned in IHC's favor as the circle's final few ships were in their direction. So they just stayed back, capitalized on the opportunity that was given to them, and were slowly and steadily picking up a lot of frags, and even that in the later stages of the game, because IHC, the switch in strategy from their side has been interesting in this first week, and what an amazing win for them. And now we will talk about the individual skills that are present inside of the lobby, and talk about the individuals that possess those skills as well. And starting things off, ladies and gentlemen, to no one's surprise, it is Top from Stalwart Esports, a key and integral player in the lineup. We know there's a little bit of a competition, a friendly rivalry between him and his teammate Action, but Top has been phenomenal for his team these days, getting in a lot of assists, getting in a lot of eliminations himself. I mean, this lad never stops. Up next is going to be the man, the Clutchmeister himself, DRS Delta, who, I mean, has improved quite a lot compared to his previous stint in the PMPL back in Season 4. Since the lineup has changed the banner that they play under, there was bound to be a little bit of a pressure on the entire team, but Delta turned out to be the playmaker for the lads of DRS and has managed to be very consistent for the team, securing 27 eliminations all by himself in the very first week. And up next, you guys know who's missing from this list, right? Well, if you aren't aware of it, it is going to be Stalwart Esports Action. 33 eliminations in 1 week, 17 assists on top of that, and 6,600 plus damage. This man is a monster, and that is the reason why Stalwart Esports have been dominating this far as well. I mean, just consistently being on the first position. Both the team and Action has been quite incredible to watch in the very first week, but if the other teams figure out how to shut him down, just like they did in the Season 4 of PMPL South Asia, then maybe Stalwart Esports are going to be in a little bit of a pickle. But hey, Action and Top together, there is nothing that can stop these two lads. So this was just week 1's recap. Who knows what will happen in the second week of this PMPL South Asia, because I mean the party is just getting started for sure. But what you guys can do is tune in to find out. So tune in to the PMPL South Asia Spring Season of 2022 on PUBG Mobile Esports South Asia official YouTube channels, and I'll wait for you guys on the battleground.